I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to breastcancertrials.org, which is a program of Quantum Leap Healthcare Collaborative. We're a nonprofit, patient-centered service created to help individuals with breast cancer or those at risk easily find clinical trials that are right for them. We know that the clinical trials can offer access to new treatments, but navigating the process of finding the right trial can be confusing and overwhelming. And that's where we come in. Our mission is to make this process easier and more accessible. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about who we are, what we do, and how we support patients in finding trials that meet their specific needs. Whether you're newly diagnosed, a breast cancer survivor, or living with metastatic disease, or somewhere in between, we're here to help you explore all your options. As I mentioned, BCT is a program of a larger nonprofit, Quantum Leap Healthcare Collaborative. And overall, we're focused on improving outcomes for patients. We want research to work better and move faster so patients don't have to wait years for better care. We know that the traditional way of doing research can be slow, expensive, and not always inclusive. And at Quantum Leap, we believe in shaking things up, rethinking how research is done so it can be more effective and aligned with the real life needs of patients and families. We develop innovative clinical trials. We have the family of iSpy trials that are designed to adapt as they go, quickly learning which treatments work best for which patients. And we know that finding the right clinical trial can be overwhelming, and that's why we created tools like breastcancertrials.org, which helps patients understand their options and connect with trials that meet their specific needs. But the idea for breastcancertrials.org came about by two breast cancer patients who were interested in clinical trials. They both had similar experiences where their doctors didn't tell them about trials, or they didn't know about trials other than those at their own hospital. So they attempted to look for them on their own and found the process very challenging and confusing. After they both completed their treatment, they joined forces and came to UC San Francisco Breast Care Center with an idea to develop a website that would make it easier for patients to find clinical trials on their own. And after years of development by patients and oncologists, breastcancertrials.org was launched as a free, nonprofit nationwide service in 2008. And our mission then and still is to empower all people affected by breast cancer to learn about and consider clinical trials as a routine option for care. There are several other trial matching tools available, so I want to point out how we are different. First, we've been around for a long time. We've worked very closely with patients and advocates and providers over the years to really understand the needs of our users. We write trials in plain language. One of the major barriers is in understanding trial eligibility. And we know that there is a critical need for patients not only to find but understand trial information. So we have a team that manually codes the relevant inclusion and exclusion criteria for each trial. Therefore, we can provide very accurate and useful trial matches. We are breast cancer specific, which allows us to focus entirely on breast cancer related trials. We're continuously improving based on feedback, and we continue to welcome any feedback that you may have. If you feel there's something that we can offer that will make understanding clinical trials better, we would love to hear your thoughts. At BCT, we have a few different programs, all related to clinical trial matching and clinical trial education. Breast Cancer Trial Search is our original program, and it is used with people with stage 0 or DCIS and early stage breast cancer, stages 1, 2, and 3, as well as breast cancer survivors. Metastatic Trial Search is our trial matching tool that was developed in 2015 based on feedback from the metastatic breast cancer community. They wanted a tool that addressed the specific and unique needs of people with metastatic stage 4 breast cancer. And our third program is Metastatic Trial Talk, which is a monthly online newsletter designed to keep people updated on what's new in breast cancer research and learn more about the clinical trial process. Our newest program is our clinical trial navigation program, and we offer several ways to bring navigation to your community. We started with one-on-one individualized navigation. So if a patient wants to talk with the clinical trial navigator and get more personalized information, they can come to our website and book an appointment. There's a schedule that comes up, which will show a calendar where they can pick a day and time that's convenient for them and ask any questions that they want about clinical trials or their eligibility for trials. And we also offer personalized Q&A sessions. We started with Friday afternoon office hours. We have quarterly open Zoom sessions where we do a demo and we can answer questions in a group format. And then the third thing that we're doing with navigation is we have created a clinical trial navigation curriculum that's available for anybody who's interested in learning more about clinical trials and how to navigate patients through the process. When people feel more comfortable understanding the clinical trial process, they may be ready to find a trial that meets their specific criteria on breastcancertrials.org. So next, I'm going to do a demonstration and show you how to go through the process of finding a trial. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how to use our website. So you're going to type into your browser, breastcancertrials.org, and you'll come here to our landing page. And on this page, you'll see that you can use breast cancer trial search. Again, that's for stage 0, 1, 2, 3. It's also for breast cancer survivors or individuals who are healthy or high risk for breast cancer. Our stage 4 metastatic trial search with the companion newsletter that you can subscribe to. And then here would be where you could schedule a one-on-one appointment for clinical trial navigation. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to go to breast cancer trial search. And you will have the option to log in and register and create a profile, or you can browse around as a guest and then later create a profile if you choose to. There are a lot of benefits for creating a profile, and we'll talk a little bit about those as we go through this demonstration. So you're going to be asked about 7 questions. The first one, again, what is your breast cancer history? I'm going to say this is my first diagnosis. And if you're a survivor, stage 4 or not had breast cancer, you would click there. And then you're going to be asked about the stage of your cancer. I'm going to say I'm stage 2. And then they're going to ask about biomarkers. And a lot of newly diagnosed patients aren't really familiar with their biomarkers. So if you don't know or your doctor has told you and you've forgotten, you can always ask again. You can ask for a copy of your medical record or your pathology report, where you will learn your hormone receptor status, HER2 status. And you also have the option of having genetic testing done to see if you're BRCA positive. And if you don't know, you can always say unsure. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to say triple negative. Then they're going to ask about the histology of your tumor. And the most common type is ductal, or also known as no special type. If your doctor has told you you're lobular, or if you're unsure, you can always click those boxes. The date of your diagnosis is important. If you can't remember, as long as you have the year, that will be good enough. And then we ask a few demographic questions. We do have some trials for our male breast cancer patients. So if you clicked male, that would bring you up to those. Menopausal status, this is important if your cancer is hormone receptor positive. You can skip any of these questions that you want, your date of birth, but zip code is really important. And this is how we sort our trials, and it will show the trials that are closest to your home first. You'll be asked a few more demographic questions, and then you will be shown this map of all the trials based on the information that you entered that you're eligible for. And Right now, I matched to 280 trials, which is quite a few. So if I want to narrow that down, there's 3 red buttons here underneath this map. If we click the first red button, we can filter by distance. So I'm going to move this little sliding bar over to 100 and try to get something that's close to my home that maybe I can drive to. And apply that filter. And then you're going to see this 280 trials then goes down to 48. You can also filter by trial type. And when most people think of clinical trials, they think of treatment trials. Those are here at the top. If you want a specific type of chemotherapy or radiation or hormonal therapy, you could click those here, or you could select all. And then here on the bottom are our non-treatment trials. And those are trials on specific diets or exercise routines or to prevent recurrence or manage side effects. So you can click any of those that you want that you might be interested in. And then the third button here is to filter by mutations. And if you've had some genomic testing, your doctor may have told you that you have a specific mutation. And if you want to do a clinical trial that targets that mutation, you would select it here. So then you're going to look down and see all of the trials that you match to. So the first one, if you look here on the right side, you're going to see how far it is from your location, how many visits are required, what phase the trial is. And then every clinical trial is listed on clinicaltrials.gov and has a unique number. And that would be listed there. So you could click on that and get the full listing of the trial. And what we try to do is we take the information that's listed on clinicaltrials.gov, and then we manually rewrite that in patient-friendly language. And we try to give you the purpose, what it's for, what's involved, and then how can you learn more? We try to put a few links here that you can click on to learn more about the drug that's being studied or why this trial is being conducted. And then on the bottom of each trial, you'll have the option here. Say this is a trial that you're interested in. What is your next step? And I always recommend the first thing is to talk with your healthcare provider about the trial. So you can share with his trial, you can share the trial with your provider by clicking here. You can send them an email. You just put in your name, your email address, your provider's email address, and then we give the official number for the clinical trial so that your provider can refer to that as they need. You can also save it. And if you save the trial, it's going to prompt you to then create a profile. And then all the information that you entered will be populated in here. And some of the great things of creating a profile is that you can add your treatment history. If you've received treatment, you can add your medications. And that helps us really narrow down what trials that you are eligible for. The other great thing that you can do here is you can sign up for trial alerts, and that way you can receive information about clinical trials that you're eligible for right into your inbox. You can also view locations and contact information. Say you wanted to connect with the trial directly, and you could call them. There's often a phone number, sometimes a person's name, and an email address. You could also print it and bring it in with you. So this whole process can be overwhelming. And again, we do offer clinical trial navigation. It's on our homepage. You can click here to create an appointment with the clinical trial navigator. And then down here, you can call and leave a message for the navigator or email any of your questions. Hope this is helpful in helping you find a clinical trial that is right for you.